Hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. I welcome you all in our new lecture. And in this lecture, we are going to cover all case studies of Unit 3. So, beginning with the first case study, that is National Solar Mission. This mission, also known as Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Mission. This mission was launched in 2010 under National Action Plan on Climate Change. And this plan was launched in 2008. The objective of this mission was to increase the share of solar energy and total energy mix of the country, along with the other renewable resources, right? Also, to launch a research and development program with the help of international cooperation, and it was done to create more cost effective, sustainable and convenient solar power, right? Few more objectives of this mission were, like for example, to create an environment for investment in solar energy by private sector, individuals and state governments, and state governments, right? And one more objective of this mission was to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. Mainly to generate electricity. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेशन में जो हम फॉसिल फ्यूल का यूज़ करते हैं उस पर हमारी डिपेंडेंस को कम करना भी इस मिशन का ऑब्जेक्टिव था, राइट? एंड दिस मिशन वाज लॉन्च्ड इन 3 phases, and the third phase, which has to be completed by 2017, and the target था that was increased in spite of this target, and the target was to achieve 100 gigawatt of installed solar capacity all over the country. And we have already achieved this target. Actually, this target was set to achieve in or till 2022, but we have already achieved this target, right? Next case study is National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency, NMEEE. This mission was also launched under NAPCC, National Action Plan on Climate Change, and the objective of this mission was to reduce energy intensity and carbon intensity to achieve sustainable growth, right? And this was a powerful initiative of Government of India to meet the global climate challenges, right? And it has few recommendations. Let's see what were the recommendations. The first recommendation is to decrease specific energy consumption in large energy consuming industries and giving them energy saving certificates, right? The second recommendation was to give energy incentives in the form of tax reduction on energy efficient appliances, right? And the third recommendation was to finance public private partnership to reduce energy consumption through demand side management programs in the municipal buildings and agricultural sectors. So these were the three important recommendations of this mission. So these two missions, National Solar Mission and National Mission on Enhanced Energy Efficiency, these two missions were launched under National Action Plan on Climate Change. We just have to remember this, right? Moving forward to our third case study known as Chipko movement, and it comes under environmental movements. You will again study this in unit 6 or 7 जहाँ पे environmental movement का topic है, right? So this movement was led by Mr. Sundarlal Bahuguna. He was also part of freedom struggle, and later he and his wife joined Communist Party, and then they left politics and they started conserving Himalayan forest, right? So basically this movement was the idea of his wife Srimati Vimala Devi Bahuguna. He was a prominent environmentalist. Actually, he passed away recently at the age of 94 last month in May 2021 because of COVID complications. And he spent his whole life based on the Gandhian principles. He was a great follower of Gandhian principles of non-violence and adopted sustainability in his lifestyle, right? So basically, this movement was started in 1973 in a district named Chamoli in Uttarakhand, and the term Chipko means to embrace or to hug. So, along with the local communities, they started hugging trees, and that's how they protected the Himalayan forest, right? So, this movement was basically for the forest conservation, right? So, this was all about the Chipko movement. Next case study of this unit is Apico movement. So, the leader of Apico movement was Mr. Panduranga Hegde, and he was a student of Mr. Bahuguna, right? And he got inspired with the Sundarlal Bahuguna, and this movement is also known as nowadays Save Western Ghat movement. The theme was similar. जिस तरह नॉर्थ इंडिया में चिपको मूवमेंट था उसी थीम पे सदर्न इंडिया में उनसे इंस्पायर होके मिस्टर पांडुरंगा हेगड़े ने स्टार्ट किया एपिको मूवमेंट, ठीक है? उस समय उत्तर कन्नड़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट कर्नाटका में बहुत तेजी से डिफॉरेस्टेशन हो रहा था, फॉरेस्ट और ट्रीज की कटिंग हो रही थी, एंड देन एट दैट टाइम ही स्टार्टेड चिपको मूवमेंट एंड ही कॉल्ड मिस्टर बहुगुना टू लीड द मूवमेंट, राइट? So there are three objectives of this movement. The first objective is protecting the existing forest cover. The second objective was the regeneration of trees in denuded land. And the third objective was utilization of forest wealth with proper consideration to the conservation of natural resources. Right? I hope it is clear. APICO movement, or also known as Save Western Ghat movement. Right? Moving forward, our another case study is Gandha Mardhan movement. This movement was started in Gandha Mardhan Hills, and this hill range is situated in Odisha, western Odisha, right? And these hills are one of the most biodiversity reserves of Odisha, right? And these hills are rich in biodiversity and also in bauxite ore. So because of abundance of this ore, one company named Bharat Aluminium Company or Balco arrived in Gandhamardhan Hills in 1983 to extract aluminium or bauxite or for doing mining activities, right? And the tribal communities which were dependent on the local forest started movement, right? These hilly areas are having very high biodiversity of plants and animals. And according to Botanical Survey of India, there are more than 200 species of medicinal plant in this area. And so many local practitioners are practicing Ayurveda on these herbs, right? And their livelihood is dependent on the resources of these hilly areas, right? So originally, this movement was initiated by tribal of this area against the Balco and which threatened their habitat. Gradually, the movement could galvanize support from the other quarters of the society also. So this was all about the Gandhamardhan movement. Moving forward, our next case study is Kaveri Dam dispute or Kaveri River water dispute. We have already covered it in our previous lectures, but let's see. Brief में देख लेते हैं एक बार. Kaveri River is also known as Ganges of South, and this river has become bone of contention between states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. Right? Tamil Nadu is alleging that its farmers are being deprived of water as the volume of water being released by Karnataka is very less. Right? Actually, Karnataka is the upper riparian state, and Tamil Nadu हमेशा एलिगेशंस लगाता है कि कर्नाटका कम वाटर रिलीज करता है, राइट? एंड ऑन द अदर हैंड कर्नाटका में देयर इज ह्यूज क्राइसिस ऑफ ड्रिंकिंग वाटर, राइट? सो दिस इज द डिस्प्यूट बिटवीन द यूज ऑफ वाटर और रिवर वाटर बिटवीन दीज टू स्टेट्स. ठीक है, in detail we have covered this topic in our previous lectures, so you can watch those lectures. Our next case study is Narmada Dam conflict, also known as Sardar Sarovar Dam conflict, and also known as Narmada Bachao Andolan. Right? ये भी एक environmental movement है, and the leader of this movement was a female social activist named Medha Patikar. Right? Initially, this movement was a social movement. इन्होंने जो मूवमेंट स्टार्ट किया था वो लोकल लोगों के लिए, लोकल कम्युनिटी के रिहैबिलिटेशन के जो इश्यूज थे उसके लिए स्टार्ट किया था. सो इनिशियली इट वाज अ सोशल मूवमेंट, बट आफ्टर सम टाइम वहाँ पे इकोलॉजिकल कंसर्न्स भी इन्होंने जाहिर किए. सो इट बिकेम अ एनवायरमेंटल मूवमेंट लेटर ऑन. सो नर्मदा रिवर is the largest westward flowing river in India and Narmada means ever delightful. It is one of the holiest river of India, like Ganges we have in North India. It is home to over a million of people, mainly tribals, Adivasi, laborers, local farmers, fishermen, and they all live along the river and they rely on it for their livelihood. This river is used for irrigation, drinking, washing clothes, cooking, and spiritual benefits. Right? The movement was started in 1986. Actually, there was a dam proposed on River Narmada, and this Narmada River is shared by three states: MP, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, right? And this dam was proposed in Gujarat and has been built in केवड़िया district of गुजरात. गुजरात के केवड़िया डिस्ट्रिक्ट में डैम बन चुका है, राइट. एंड जब ये डैम प्रपोज हुआ था, देन इट वाज ईयर 1960s. 1960s में प्रपोजल आया, बट आफ्टर दैट दिस मूवमेंट वाज स्टार्टेड and this project, this Sardar Sarovar Dam was being funded by World Bank. वर्ल्ड बैंक के द्वारा इसको फंड किया जा रहा था, ठीक है. सो मूवमेंट फर्स्ट स्टार्टेड एज प्रोटेस्ट फॉर नॉट प्रोवाइडिंग प्रॉपर रिहेबिलिटेशन एंड रीसेटलमेंट फॉर द पीपल. जिनको डिस्प्लेस किया गया था डैम कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए, उनको प्रॉपर रिहेबिलिटेशन रीसेटलमेंट प्रोवाइड नहीं किया गया था. दैट्स वाई इट वाज स्टार्टेड एज अ सोशल मूवमेंट. And later on, movement turned its focus on preservation of environment and the ecosystem of the valley. And activists also demanded the height of the dam to be reduced to 88 meter from the proposed height of 130 meter. Right? Initially जो डैम की हाइट थी 130 मीटर प्रपोज थी. एक्टिविस्ट ने कहा कि हाइट को रिड्यूस कर दिया जाए 88 मीटर्स तक. सुप्रीम कोर्ट में केस गया, देन 2001 में जो हाइट है उसको इंक्रीज कर दिया 90 मीटर्स तक, ठीक है. एंड अगेन ग्रेजुअली ये हाइट इंक्रीज होती गई एंड फाइनली जब डैम रेडी हो गया एंड इट वाज इनॉग्रेटेड इन 2017, द हाइट वाज 137 meters and at present its height in terms of its capacity is 138.7 meter, right? So इन बिटवीन वर्ल्ड बैंक ने इस प्रोजेक्ट से विड्रॉ कर लिया, राइट. एंड नाउ दिस डैम इज रेडी, इनॉग्रेट हो चुका है, ठीक है, बन चुका है. एंड 2017 में डैम का इनॉग्रेशन हो गया था. सो मेधा पाटिकर फॉट ऑलमोस्ट 6 decades long fight, right? So this is a another case study सरदार सरोवर डैम के ऊपर. नेक्स्ट केस स्टडी इज तरुण भारत संघ. इट इज अ नॉन गवर्नमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एनजीओ है, बेस्ड इन अलवर डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ राजस्थान. एंड द चेयरपर्सन ऑफ दिस एनजीओ इज डॉक्टर राजेंद्र सिंह. He is also known as Waterman of India, and he is the winner of Stockholm Water Prize, जो उनको मिला है फॉर द रिजुविनेशन ऑफ वाटर रिसोर्सेज इन राजस्थान, राइट. तो इनका जो एनजीओ है, इट वर्क्स फॉर वाटर कंजर्वेशन, रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग, बाय ट्रेडिशनल मेथड, राइट. तो Tarun Bharat Sangh seeks to bring dignity and prosperity to the lives of destitute section of the nation through sustainable development measures. This NGO aims for holistic development of men, women, children, regardless of economic situations, caste, or religions. It promotes community driven, decentralized management of natural resources. And it is working for empowerment of communities and believes in Gram Swaraj, village self rule. The unique part of TBS is modus operandi for development is to make communities self reliant, right? And this NGO is also famous for conducting few awareness programs like Jan Jal Andolan in Rajasthan, also for Save River Ganga campaign, right? And they also fought for mining in Sariska Tiger Reserve, right? And also they are fighting for the water and forest conservation in Rajasthan. So this was all about Tarun Bharat Sangh. So यहाँ हमारी सारी केस स्टडीज फिनिश होती हैं एंड ऑल्सो वी हैव कवर्ड द कंप्लीट थर्ड यूनिट राइट सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट अवर केस स्टडीज थैंक यू